I smooth my dress for the 100th time and check my watch. 3 hours late. The Oregon airport buzzes around me, families reuniting with tears and laughter. My hands shake as I grip the gift bags for Dawn, my granddaughter I've never met. 10 years. 10 years since Cameron cut me out of his life after that fight about Riley. The terminal grows quieter. Departure announcements echo. My phone stays silent. I rehearse what I'll say when I see him. How I'll apologize again. How much I've missed him. The trust documents feel heavy in my purse. $800,000 I've saved for his family. Hour 4 becomes hour 8. My feet ache. Airport staff give me pitying looks. I buy another coffee I don't want. Maybe there's traffic. Maybe Dawn got sick. Maybe they forgot the time. I make excuses because the truth is too painful to consider. At hour 12, my phone finally rings. Riley's voice is flat, annoyed. "You're already here? Cameron forgot. He's at poker night with the guys." The line goes dead before I can respond. I stare at the phone. Poker night. While I waited 12 hours like a fool, no tears come. Just a cold, empty feeling spreading through my chest. This wasn't an accident. They didn't forget. This was planned, calculated, cruel. They wanted me to know exactly where I stood in their lives. Nowhere. I sit back down, processing what just happened. Riley's tone wasn't apologetic or embarrassed. It was irritated that I'd even shown up. Like I was the inconvenience. Like I was the problem for having the nerve to visit my own son. The trust documents crinkle as I slide them deeper into my bag. $800,000. My life savings. Money I'd planned to give them tonight at dinner. Money I thought would help Dawn go to college, help them buy a better house, secure their future. My phone buzzes with a text from Riley. "Cameron will pick you up in an hour." No sorry. No explanation. Just another inconvenience to manage. I look around the empty terminal. Security guards are starting their night shift. Janitors mop the floors. Everyone's going home to families who want them there. But something shifts inside me. The hurt is transforming into something else. Something as Dawn. They made a mistake tonight. A big one. The rideshare driver is kind. He asks about my visit, tells me about his own grandchildren. I smile and nod, but my mind is elsewhere. When we pull up to Cameron's house, I see warm lights in the windows. A normal family evening I wasn't invited to join. Riley opens the door like she's doing me a favor. "You look tired," she says, scanning my rumpled dress. No hug, no welcome. Just judgment. I follow her inside, carrying my own bags because no one offers to help. The house is beautiful, clean, expensive. I notice the walls immediately, dozens of family photos, but I'm not in a single one. Cameron and Riley at their wedding. Their honeymoon. Dawn's first steps, birthday parties, Christmas mornings, 10 years of memories that don't include me. But then I see it. One photo sitting alone on the mantel. A little girl with dark curls and bright eyes smiling at the camera. She has Cameron's nose and my eyes. Dawn, the granddaughter I've dreamed about meeting. Riley follows my gaze. That's Dawn. She's sleeping. Her tone suggests I won't be meeting her tonight. Maybe not at all. I nod and pick up my suitcase. The game has started, but they don't know I'm playing yet. Dinner is a performance. Cameron finally appears, barely making eye contact as he mumbles hello. They talk around me, not to me. Riley complains about her job. Cameron discusses weekend plans that don't include me. I might as well be invisible. I eat quietly, watching them. Really watching. The way Riley rolls her eyes when I speak. How? Cameron checks his phone constantly. The silent communication between them. Looks that say, "How much longer do we have to pretend?" They ask no questions about my life, my health, my long flight. 10 years of separation, and they couldn't care less how I've been. The hurt tries to surface again, but I push it down. I need to see everything clearly. The house feels cold, despite the expensive furniture. No warmth, no laughter, no joy. Just two people going through the motions of a life they're not really living. "More wine?" Riley asks, already pouring herself a third glass. Cameron's drinking beer, avoiding conversation. These aren't happy people. Success without soul, money without meaning. Then I hear small footsteps on the stairs. A soft voice asks, "Who's here?" "Go back to bed, Dawn," Riley snaps. But a little girl appears in the doorway, rubbing sleepy eyes. "Hi, are you my grandma?" My heart stops. Dawn is perfect. Curious eyes, gentle smile, cotton pajamas with stars on them. She looks exactly like Cameron did at her age. I want to scoop her up and never let go. Yes, sweetheart. I'm your grandmother. My voice cracks slightly. Dawn bounds over and climbs onto my lap without hesitation. She studies my face with wonder. You have my eyes, she says simply. Daddy said you lived far away. Riley sighs loudly. Dawn, Grandma's tired. Go to bed. But Dawn ignores her, chattering about school, her friends, a book she's reading. She's bright and kind, asking thoughtful questions. Nothing like her parents. She wants to know about my house, my job as a nurse, if I have pets. I drew you a picture, she whispers. It's upstairs. Can I show you tomorrow? I'd love that, I tell her, smoothing her hair. Cameron finally intervenes, carrying Dawn upstairs. I hear muffled voices, then silence. When he returns, his face is hard. Don't get her hopes up, he says quietly. You won't be staying long. But Dawn has already stolen my heart, and now I have something worth fighting for. I lie awake in the guest room, listening to the house settle. Around midnight, I hear Cameron on the phone downstairs. His voice carries through the thin walls. She showed up. I thought we scared her off for good. But nope, there she was at the airport looking all hopeful. He's laughing. Actually laughing. She still thinks we care. It's pathetic, really. My chest tightens, every word cuts deeper. Riley thinks she brought money, some kind of inheritance thing. But I don't know, man, she looks broke to me. More laughter, whatever, a few more days and she'll get the hint. I press my hands over my mouth to keep from gasping. This is what my son has become. This is how he talks about his own mother. The boy I raised, loved, sacrificed for. He's become a stranger. But I don't cry. Something else happens instead. Something cold and final settles in my bones. I whisper to the darkness, "That was your last mistake, Cameron." The trust documents seem to glow in my purse across the room. $800,000 they'll never see now. Not after this. They want to play games? Fine, but they're about to learn they're not the only ones who know how to wait. The next morning, Riley suggests dinner out tomorrow night. Somewhere nice, she says with fake enthusiasm. A real reunion dinner. Cameron nods along, suddenly interested in spending time together. I agree sweetly, knowing exactly what this is. They think I brought money. They're going to butter me up, make me feel welcome, then go in for the kill. It's so obvious it's almost insulting. I spend the day with Dawn while they work. She shows me her room, her drawings, her favorite books. We bake cookies, and she tells me about school. She's lonely, I realize. Her parents are, always busy, always stressed. She lights up having someone who actually listens. Why doesn't Daddy talk about you? She asks innocently. Adults sometimes have complicated feelings, I tell her. He says you're difficult, but you're not difficult. You're nice. My heart breaks and hardens at the same time. That evening, I carefully select my outfit for tomorrow's dinner. I know it's meant to be my farewell performance, where they expect me to hand over whatever money I brought. But I'm going to give them a show they'll never forget. I place the trust documents in my purse. Tomorrow night, everything changes. The restaurant is expensive. Candlelit tables, soft music, attentive waiters. Cameron and Riley are dressed up, smiling, playing their parts perfectly. They ask about my flight, my health, my life back home. 10 years too late, but they're trying now. After the main course, I stand up with my wine glass. I want to make a toast, I announce. They look pleased, expectant. To reconnection, to family, to second chances. We clink glasses. I came here with something special for you both. Their eyes light up with greed disguised as joy. I reach into my purse and pull out the trust documents. This is $800,000, my entire life savings. I was going to give it to you tonight because I believed we could rebuild our relationship. Riley gasps. Cameron's eyes go wide. Mom, that's incredible. Thank you. I smile warmly. Then I tear the papers in half, right down the middle. The sound echoes in the suddenly quiet restaurant. Was going to, until I realized you already have everything you wanted. Money, success, a beautiful home. The only thing you're missing is dignity. The pieces flutter to the table like confetti. Cameron and Riley stare in shock, their masks finally slipping. Riley's face turns purple. She stands up so fast her chair falls over. Are you insane? She shrieks. Other diners turn to stare. That was our money, Dawn's college fund. Keep your voice down, Cameron hisses, but his eyes are wild with panic. I calmly sip my wine. Dawn will be fine. She has something you'll never understand, character. Riley storms out, high heels clicking furiously on the marble floor. Cameron follows me to the parking lot, grabbing my arm. Please, I'm sorry about the airport. I'll change. I want my mom back. For a moment, he looks like the little boy I used to tuck into bed. But then I remember his laughter on the phone last night. The cruelty in his voice. Your mom died in that airport, I say quietly. I'm someone else now. That night, Dawn hugs me before bed. You're the only nice grown-up I know, she whispers. I hold her tight, memorizing the feeling. She's the only thing in this house worth saving. Cameron spends the evening pacing, making hushed phone calls. Riley slams doors and drinks wine. They're panicking, realizing their scheme backfired spectacularly. But this is just the beginning. Everything changes overnight. Cameron transforms into the perfect son. He brings me coffee in bed, asks about my day, offers to drive me anywhere I want to go. The anger is gone, replaced by desperate sweetness. Riley tries too, though her efforts feel forced. She asks about my nursing career, compliments my clothes, suggests we go shopping together. They're tag-teaming me with kindness. I remain cautious, but let them think it's working. Maybe they really do want to change. Maybe last night scared them into reality. Maybe there's hope for my son, after all. Dawn beams at the sudden harmony. I knew you'd make them happy, she tells me. Cameron takes me to lunch alone. We sit in a quiet cafe, and for a moment he's my little boy. Again, he talks about work stress, marriage troubles, how he's been seeing a therapist. I've missed this, he says, covering my hand with his. I've missed you. My guard starts to lower despite everything. This feels real, raw, honest. I know I messed up, he continues. The airport thing was unforgivable, but I want to try again. Can we try again? Part of me wants to believe him. The mother in me is desperate to forgive. I don't commit to anything, but I don't say no either. Weeks pass in this strange new normal. Cameron calls every few days. Riley sends pictures of Dawn. They invite me for dinner again, and this time it's warm, genuine feeling. We laugh like we used to. Dawn draws me more pictures. She makes me a card that says "Best Grandma Ever" with glitter hearts. My defenses start crumbling. Cameron helps me fix a leaky faucet at my house. He stays for dinner, sharing stories about Dawn's funny sayings and school achievements. We watch old home videos, and he tears up seeing himself as a child. I was so angry for so long, he admits, but I don't even remember why anymore. I'm starting to remember why I love him. Maybe people can change. Maybe this nightmare has a happy ending after all. I call my lawyer and tell her I'm considering revising the trust. She advises caution, but I'm feeling hopeful for the first time in years. Riley even texts me directly. Thank you for giving us another chance. Dawn adores you. I start drafting new trust documents in my head. Not the full amount, they need to earn that. But something meaningful. Something that shows I believe in their change. But I don't sign anything yet. Some instinct tells me to wait just a little longer. Dawn gives me a drawing that makes me cry. It's the two of us holding hands under a rainbow. Me and you, she explains, because you love me and I love you. This child has no idea how much she's saving my soul. In her innocent love, I find purpose again. Maybe I can't fix Cameron and Riley, but I can be the grandmother Dawn deserves. Daddy says you're soft, Dawn mentions while we color. But I think you're strong. That gives me pause. Soft? Is that how they see me? Even now, after everything, do they think I'm easy to manipulate? Dawn's honesty is both a gift and a warning. Children hear everything, understand more than adults realize. If Cameron is calling me soft behind my back, what else is he saying? That evening, Cameron is extra attentive. He makes my favorite tea, asks about my day, shows genuine interest in my stories. But Dawn's words echo in my mind. I decide to test something. I leave my purse in the living room when I go to the bathroom. When I return, Cameron is sitting nearby, but something feels off. My purse looks different, slightly moved. I don't say anything, but my guard goes back up. Just a little, just enough. Maybe I'm being paranoid. Or maybe my instincts are trying to save me again. My suspicion grows stronger each day. Cameron is almost too perfect now, too eager, too interested in my finances. He asks casual questions about my retirement accounts, my house value, my monthly expenses, always framed as concern for my well-being. Riley mentions how expensive Dawn's private school is, how they're looking at bigger houses, how Cameron's work bonus got cut. Just innocent conversation. But the timing feels calculated. I decide to set a trap. I leave my guest room one evening and place a tiny piece of tape on the door. Barely visible, but enough to tell if someone enters. When I return from dinner, the tape is broken. Someone was in my room, searching through my things, looking for what? Bank statements? Updated trust documents? Evidence of how much money I really have? My heart pounds, but I don't confront them. Instead, I go to the electronics store the next day and buy something special. A small voice recorder, professional grade, almost invisible. That night, I place it under the guest room dresser before joining them for dinner. My hands shake slightly as I hide it, but my resolve is steady. If they want to play games, I'll give them exactly what they deserve. Time to discover who my son really is. The recorder captures everything. I wait until they think I'm asleep, then retrieve it with trembling fingers. In the darkness of my car, I press play. Cameron's voice fills the silence. A few more weeks and she'll sign it. The guilt trip is working perfectly. She's already talking about revising the trust. Riley laughs coldly. God, she's pathetic. Did you see her face when Dawn gave her that stupid drawing? She practically melted. The kid's useful, Cameron agrees. Mom's completely hooked. Once she updates that trust, we can finally be done with this charade. My hands shake as their voices continue. How much do you think she really has? Riley asks. Probably more than she's saying. She lived like a monk her whole life, never spent anything on herself. I bet there's close to $1 million. Riley's voice turns vicious. Her hugs make my skin crawl, and the way she looks at Dawn like she's some precious angel. It's gross. The recording continues for another 10 minutes. They discuss my loneliness, my desperation, how easy I am to manipulate. They laugh about the airport, calling it phase 1 of the plan. I sit in my car, engine off, heart breaking into pieces that will never fit back together. I don't sleep. I sit in the guest room all night, staring at the wall, letting the truth settle into my bones. Everything makes sense now. The sudden change, the fake kindness, the interest in my finances, Dawn being used as bait. My son, my baby boy, is gone. Whatever's wearing his face now is a stranger, a predator who sees his own mother as prey. But something unexpected happens as dawn breaks. Instead of falling apart, I feel myself getting stronger, clearer, more focused than I've been in years. They played their game perfectly, almost, but they made one crucial mistake. They underestimated me. They think I'm soft, weak, desperate for love. They're about to learn exactly how wrong they are. I shower, dress carefully, and join them for breakfast with a smile. I've been thinking, I announce cheerfully, about the trust, about our future. Cameron and Riley exchange excited glances, thinking they've won. But the game isn't over. It's just beginning. And this time, I'm the one holding all the cards. It's time for the final move, I whisper to myself as they chatter about their bright future. I drive straight to my lawyer's office. Margaret Connie has handled my affairs for 15 years. She listens without judgment as I explain everything, the airport, the recording, the manipulation. I want to draft a new trust, I tell her. The real one this time. We work for hours, crafting something bulletproof. 70% goes to Dawn in a protected trust that cannot be touched by her parents until she's 18. They can't borrow against it, raid it, or use it for their own purposes. 30% goes to charities close to my heart, organizations for abused elders, single mothers, and nurses who sacrifice everything for others like I did. Cameron's name doesn't appear anywhere in the document. Are you certain about this? Margaret asks gently. More certain than I've ever been about anything. I also write a letter to Dawn for her 18th birthday. I tell her about her grandfather she never met, about the nursing career that gave my life meaning, about choosing kindness even when others choose cruelty. I place everything in a safety deposit box with strict instructions. Dawn gets the key when she turns 18, not a day before. On the drive home, I feel lighter than I have in months. The money will go where it belongs, to someone who deserves it. I tell Cameron I need space to think and book a flight home. He doesn't argue, which tells me everything. If he really cared about rebuilding our relationship, he'd fight for me to stay. Riley actually mutters finally under her breath as I pack, but Dawn cries when I leave. Real tears from a child who thought she'd found someone who truly loved her. I promise to call, to write, to visit when I can. At least that part isn't a lie. The drive to the airport feels like freedom. A week later, Cameron sends flowers with a note. Can we talk? I miss you, Mom. The words are pretty, but they feel empty, hollow, written by someone following a script. I don't respond. Another week passes, more flowers. A heartfelt letter about how much our time together meant to him, how he wants to be better, how he's changed. I read every word carefully, then burn the letter in my fireplace. The flames turn his promises to ash, which feels appropriate. He calls daily. I let it go to voicemail. His messages grow more desperate, more panicked. The perfect son act is cracking under pressure. Reality starts hitting them hard. Cameron's work bonus doesn't come through. Riley's credit card bills pile up. The expensive lifestyle they've been living suddenly feels unsustainable without the windfall they were counting on. According to Dawn, who calls me secretly from school, they fight constantly now. Money arguments, blame arguments, stress filling every corner of their perfect house. "Why don't you call Grandma back?" Riley screams one evening. Dawn hides in her room, covering her ears. Cameron tries everything: professional letters from his therapist, videos of Dawn asking me to visit. Even Riley swallows her pride and sends apologetic texts. But I'm done. The spell is broken. I see them clearly now, not as family, but as strangers who happen to share my DNA. I focus on my own life instead. Volunteer work at the women's shelter, traveling with friends I'd neglected for years, learning photography, reading books, living. Cameron's latest voicemail is almost incoherent. "Please, Mom. Riley's threatening to leave. I'm losing everything. I need you." But he already lost the only thing that mattered: my trust. And some things once broken can never be repaired. Dawn visits me for a weekend. A secret trip arranged when Cameron and Riley think she's at her friend's house. We bake cookies, read stories, take long walks. She's growing up so fast, becoming more thoughtful, more aware. "They fight about money all the time now," she tells me sadly. "Daddy says it's your fault." My heart breaks for her, caught in the middle of adult cruelty she doesn't understand. "Sweetheart, you're not responsible for grown-up problems," I tell her. "Your only job is to be a kid." We spend hours talking about books, dream what she wants to be when she grows up. She's brilliant, kind, curious, everything her parents aren't. "When I grow up, I want to be exactly like you," she says while we're gardening together. Those words nearly destroy me. This perfect child, choosing me as her role model when her own parents see her as a tool for manipulation. I hug her tight, making promises I intend to keep. Whatever happens with Cameron and Riley, Dawn will always have me. Always. When I drive her back, she sneaks a letter into my hands. "Don't read it until you get home," she whispers. Inside she's written, "You're the best thing in my whole life. I love you forever and ever. Some family is chosen, not born." Cameron breaks into my old guest room while I'm away visiting my sister. He tears through everything, looking for updated trust documents, bank statements, anything that might give him leverage. He finds nothing, of course. I'm not that foolish. But I did leave him something. Taped inside the closet where he'd eventually look, a handwritten quote. "If they wanted you to trust them, they would have treated you like you mattered." According to my neighbor, he slammed the door so hard it rattled the windows. His desperation is growing dangerous. He calls my bank pretending to be concerned about fraud. He contacts my doctor asking about my mental capacity. He's grasping at straws, trying any angle that might give him access to my money. But I've covered every base. Margaret made sure of that. When I return home, I find my house exactly as I left it, except for that broken closet door. He doesn't even try to hide what he's done. I change my locks that afternoon and install security cameras. If my own son is willing to break into my home, I need protection. The boy I raised is truly gone. The final call comes on a Tuesday morning. Cameron's voice is broken, defeated. "Please, Mom, Riley's leaving me. She took Dawn. I'm losing everything." For a moment, my heart wants to soften. This is my child, after all. But then I remember the recording, the laughter, the cruel calculation. "You already lost everything," I tell him calmly. "You lost it the night you made me wait 12 hours at an airport while you played poker with friends." I can explain. "No need. We're done here, Cameron." I hang up and immediately block his number. An hour later, Riley sends one final text. "Hope it was worth it, Diane. You chose money over family." I stare at the message for a long time before responding. "I chose family over greed. You'll understand the difference someday." Then I block her too. The silence that follows isn't empty, it's peaceful. For the first time in years, my phone isn't ringing with demands, manipulations, or false promises. I'm free. Their world collapses quickly after that. The house goes on the market within a month. Cameron loses his job, something about performance issues and missed deadlines. Riley takes Dawn and moves back with her parents across the country. Word spreads through their social circle. Friends distance themselves when the money problems become obvious. Fair-weather friendships, built on status, crumble under pressure. I hear these updates through mutual acquaintances, though I don't seek them out. Their drama is no longer my concern. But Dawn matters. She calls me from her new school, voice small and scared. Daddy says you could help us, but you won't. He says you're mean now. It takes everything I have to stay calm. Sweetheart, adults sometimes say things when they're hurting that aren't true. I love you more than anything in this world. Then why won't you help him? Because sometimes helping someone means letting them learn from their mistakes. Cameron apparently begs Dawn to ask me for money. She refuses, saying, "No, I love Grandma too much to bother her." That child has more wisdom than her father ever will. 8 years pass before I see Dawn again. She's 18 now, beautiful and confident, walking across the stage at her high school graduation. Riley invited me, a surprise that catches me off guard. After the ceremony, Dawn hugs me like she never wants to let go. "I got your letter," she whispers. "Thank you." The letter I wrote when she was 10, placed in that safety deposit box with the trust documents. She's read about her inheritance, her college fund, her bright future free from her parents' financial chaos. We go to lunch together, just the two of us. She tells me about her scholarship to nursing school, following in my footsteps, about her boyfriend who treats her with respect, about dreams of traveling, helping people, making a difference. "I want to do what you did," she says, "build something meaningful." Later, we attend a scholarship ceremony where I'm presenting awards to nursing students. Dawn sits in the front row, beaming with pride as I'm introduced. The local paper runs a story. Retired nurse donates $300,000 to Women's Support Program. In the photo, Dawn and I stand together, 3 generations of strong women who chose service over selfishness. I'm in my 70s now, living simply but richly. My house is filled with laughter when Dawn visits, bringing her nursing school friends for Sunday dinners. We cook together, share stories, plan her future. The women's shelter where I volunteer has become my second family. Single mothers finding their strength, elderly women escaping abuse, nurses working double shifts to support their children. I see myself in all of them. My retirement is exactly what it should be: peaceful, purposeful, surrounded by people who choose to be there. Dawn graduates nursing school with honors. She specializes in pediatric care, drawn to helping children the way I once helped her. At her graduation party, she gives a speech thanking me for showing her that strength comes from kindness, not cruelty. My bank account is smaller now, but my life is immeasurably richer. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if Cameron had met me at that airport with genuine love instead of calculated neglect. But I don't dwell on it. Some paths close so better ones can open. I chose Dawn over her father, love over manipulation, dignity over desperation. It was the right choice. Cameron sees the newspaper article online, the photo of Dawn and me at the scholarship ceremony, the mention of my charitable donations, the life I've built without him. He's living in a rented room now, according to Dawn. Unshaven, bitter, alone. His marriage ended years ago. His daughter barely speaks to him. He burned every bridge, blamed everyone else, learned nothing. He slams his laptop shut after reading the article, but the image burns in his mind. His mother and daughter together, successful and happy, living the life he could have shared if he'd chosen differently. Dawn tells me he sometimes asks about me. If I'm happy, if I ever mention him. She always says the same thing. Grandma has moved on. I have no anger left for him, no sadness, no regret, just a quiet acknowledgement that some people choose their own loneliness. On quiet evenings, I sit in my garden with a cup of tea, watching the sunset paint the sky in brilliant colors. My phone buzzes with texts from Dawn, updates from the shelter, invitations from friends. My life is full of people who want to be here. They made me wait 12 hours at an airport to humiliate me, to show me exactly how little I mattered in their world. So I made them wait a lifetime to realize they were the ones left behind.